Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope it is a great morning where you are. And I am so glad to have you here with me on this Monday morning. It has finally cooled down a little bit here in Colorado. It's been so hot. And last night we actually watched a movie with the windows open and it was raining and it was nice and cool. So I am loving this cooler weather. We'll keep it as long as we can take it. So I am glad that you are here joining me this morning. My name is Sarah and I am a startup coach. And I like to explain that that's different than a coach that you might hire once you've already gotten your business started and you are scaling and growing and ready to go from maybe earning $1,000 to $10,000. That's a different kind of coach. I'm a startup coach. I like to help you from the very beginning, from scratch, when you have no idea what to do. That's where I come in, and I love to help you in that phase, that early startup phase, mostly because I love to help you avoid the mistakes that I made in those early phases. And I just wasted so much time and energy and money, and I love helping you avoid those mistakes. So if you're watching me live, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you're watching in the future, I'm also glad that you are here. And if you've missed any of my previous trainings, I keep them all in my Facebook group in the guide section, so you can check them out there. I have two big announcements that I have for you, so stick around until the end. I'd love to share those. One is about my new course that's launching this week, and another one is about a masterclass that I'm offering this week. Not in my Facebook group, but outside my Facebook group, and so I want to tell you how to get signed up for that. But before we get to those two big announcements, I want to teach you today about a topic that's really near and dear to my heart, and that is learning how to work like a boss. If you've missed either of my other two videos in this series, I talked about thinking like a boss and growing like a boss. And now we're going to end out this series with work like a boss. And I'm excited to teach you about this today. And I have two words for you. If you have a scratch piece of paper to take some notes, here are your two words for thinking and or to think about as you're working like a boss. And they are efficient and effective. Two very similar words, but have very different meanings. And so that's how a boss gets the most things done, is they've learned how to pair both being efficient and effective. And I just want to say from the beginning, efficient doesn't always mean the fastest way. So I don't want it to be in your mind that you're going to hurry up and do something. It's just that we're going to learn how to do it efficiently. So I want to give you two quick stories to think about with these two words. The first one is about my mom. When I was working, when I was in high school, my mom went back to the workforce. She had been a stay-at-home mom, and so she went back into the workforce to save up to pay for college for both my sister and me. And she went to work for a not-for-profit organization doing their finances. And she took over two people's full-time job. And in the end, she did it part-time. And that was just a big testament to her efficiency. She could get the work done in much less time and still do it accurately. But that is efficiency, taking two full-time jobs and making it a part-time job. I don't know if they were ever able to replace her when she left. They probably had to hire back those two full-time people, but she was very efficient. Another story I'd like to tell you is about a man that I read about. His name is Reese Powell, and he's founder and CEO of a company called Red Rabbit. When he started out, his dream was to provide healthy meals and nutritious offerings for parents so that their kids could eat healthy at school. They could order the meals online, the parents could, and then the kids could eat them at school. But he realized after doing some research and starting down this road that it wasn't the most effective way to run business. There was a lot of overhead cost. There was a lot of working with the parents and convincing them that this was a good program. And so he made a switch to partnering with the schools instead of the parents, and having the schools have the meals available instead of the parents ordering them. The mission remained the same, which was providing healthy meals for the kids, but the way he went about it was a lot more effective. And now his company delivers 20,000 healthy meals every day to schools that need those nutritious schools to those kids. And he's now the owner and runs the largest black owned K-12 school food management company. Now that's effectiveness. He took a model and a mission that he had and found that the way he was doing it wasn't working. It was not having a huge return on investment. So he pivoted to now partner with schools, which makes his model much, much more effective. He can still carry out that mission, but he's doing it in a different way. And so as you start out your business, I want you to work like a boss, but you have to be on the lookout of how to do both of these things together, being efficient and effective, all while staying aligned with the mission, vision, and values that you have in your business. So how do we do this? Well, you are first of all making a great choice by coming and listening to this today. And you've now identified two ways that you can start working like a boss. And you've named them, and now you can keep them at the top of mind. You can put them on a sticky note and put them right next to your computer screen. So when you sit down, you can remind yourself, I want to be both efficient and effective. If you've listened to my trainings before, then you know one of my first pieces of advice about most things in business and really in life is that it's my advice is usually something along the lines of you need to ground yourself in the reality of where you are right now. And so if you are looking to think like or work like a boss, then you need to be both effective and efficient. And we need to be grounded in the reality of, do I do both of these things right now? So here are some questions to ask yourself about, am I efficient and am I effective, and do I do both of those things together? So here's some questions for you. How long do I work in my business each week, each day? Am I happy with the amount of time that I'm spending? Am I spending too much or am I spending too little in my business? Do I resent the fact that I'm missing out on other activities, maybe with friends and family, or downtime because I'm always working? Or do I wish that I could just get more done in less time? When I sit down to do a task, does it take more time than I thought it was going to, or less time than I thought it was going to? Do I have an idea of how much time each task is going to take? A little side note, a lot of people will say, oh, I dreaded doing XYZ, like starting my email system or posting on social media, because I thought it was going to take so much time. But then when I sat down to do it, it actually didn't take that much time, and I wish I had started sooner. So this idea of having a general idea of how long each task is going to take really does help you be more efficient and effective. You have to be realistic. A couple of years ago when my son was starting middle school, and when he would sit down to work, this was in COVID, so we were doing a lot of school at home, I would ask him, when he would start an assignment, how long do you think this would take? And he might say something like 45 minutes. And then when it took an hour and a half, we had to talk about having a realistic amount of time that he thinks that tasks are going to take. And that's how you do time management. We can keep a list. This is actually how long this takes. I think social media takes me 2 hours to do, but in reality only takes me one. Let's write that down, so then when I have an hour of time, I know I can get all my social media done in that amount of time. Okay, here's some more questions. Am I easily distracted when I sit down to work? Am I always jumping from one task to another? Or can I sit down and do something fully focused? Do I see results at the end of my work time? For example, am I crossing off tasks on my to-do list? Am I making connections online? Am I getting leads? Am I seeing progress on large projects? Maybe I'm not finishing that large project, but I'm definitely seeing progress towards it. Am I constantly growing in my business? Am I growing my content? Am I growing my leads, my revenue, my number of followers, in my confidence? Am I growing in my business? Am I hitting my targets each quarter? Do I even have targets that I'm trying to hit each quarter? Do I plan? Do I work from a plan, or do I work from emotions? What do I feel like doing? I don't really feel like doing social media today, so I'm not going to do it. Well, no, I work from a plan. This was on the plan. I said I was going to do this. This is what I'm going to get done today. So those are some questions to help you see where you are right now on the scale of being effective and efficient. And you want to be honest with yourself, but not harsh. This is a skill you have to learn of looking at feedback, looking at the data, and being grounded in reality. But this isn't a time to should on yourself. I should have done this. I should have done that. I should be better at it. Nope. It's just this is the reality of where I am. What's my next step to move forward for this week? And so once you've grounded yourself in reality, which one do you need to work on? Do you need to be more efficient or do you need to be more effective? Which one do you need to lean into more? Because you really do need both of those to get your work done in your business and work like a boss. So when you are efficient but not effective, you probably get a lot done, but you might not be growing your numbers. You might finish your tasks when you sit down to work, but you feel like maybe you're guessing if that's the right work that you should be doing. If you have both, you should be satisfied with your work, but, or I'm sorry, if you are efficient but not effective, you will be satisfied with your work because you get a ton of stuff done, but you will always have an inner tension of feeling like, is this the right work? When you are effective but not efficient, you might be growing your numbers, but you're working all hours of the day and night. You're killing it and you're growing your numbers, you're bringing in revenue, but you have no boundaries on how long things take, and so you're working all the time. You might be seeing new revenue or new subscribers on your new YouTube channel, but you're constantly feeling like you're behind because you aren't very efficient at doing the work. So you are excited about your growth, but again, you have this inner tension of losing it all because you have to keep up this pace and intensity in order to keep growing and keeping that revenue. And so you're either going to have an inner tension of, is this the right work to be doing? Because I don't know if I'm actually effective. Or can I keep up this pace and intensity for the long haul because I'm effective, but I'm not efficient? And we want to bring both of those together. We want to bring down the inner tension. And so when you do have both, you might feel and see steady growth. It might be slow growth, but don't equate slow with bad, especially when you're starting out in your business. But you can also spend time with your family and have downtime and take a nap on Sunday afternoons, which I did yesterday. If you have both effective and efficient work in your business, you can feel like you have a healthy balance of work and play, and you feel like your business is headed in the right direction. You have peace of mind about your business because you love what you do and you love what it provides for you, both financial freedom and extra time for what you love doing. And so that's where we want to be. We want to be in that peace of mind. We want to eliminate that tension of, am I doing the right work or I'm working all the time? We want to eliminate those and live with that peace of mind. So here are a few action steps for you to be able to bring up the efficiency and bring up the effectiveness so that you've got both of them in your business. And I have, let's see on my list, I have actually I have 10 things that you can do, and I've broken them down into two categories. Here's some practical steps you can take today. One, set aside a specific spot to work. I cannot emphasize this enough. I know that the idea of working on my couch or working from anywhere is appealing, but you need to set aside a specific place in your home to work. So when you go there, your brain says, oh yes, I'm here to work. If I go and sit on my couch to work, what does my brain say? It's time for a nap. Because what do I do when I sit on the couch? I take a nap, or I read, or I'm doing something relaxing. And so you need to have a place in your home where you're working so that your brain knows it's time to work and your body knows. So stop working in bed, stop working on the couch, get yourself dressed. I know there are days where I don't take a shower and I just work in my shorts and a t-shirt and I'm super comfy, but most days I take a shower, I get ready so that if I want to pop on to do a story on Instagram, or if I want to create a reel, or if I get a sales call and I want to talk to a potential client, I am ready to go. I don't have to delay and say, oh, I should go take a shower. I'm ready, I'm prepared, I'm telling my body I'm going to work. Now, I don't get as dressed up as I used to when I was an assistant principal. I still wear comfy clothes, but I'm getting dressed, I'm telling my body I'm going to work. This isn't a vacation. Number two, this is a big one. Track your results and make decisions based on data, not emotions. Learn how to evaluate your progress with data. Be grounded in reality, not your feelings. Now, I have a lot of feelings about social media, and it's a roller coaster of emotions of I got this many likes, or this many people unfollowed me, or this many people followed me. And it would be very easy for me to just say, I quit. And there are times I have. My friend reminded me the other day, hey, you were going to quit Instagram. But then my numbers started going up, and I was looking at hard data. When I first started doing Reels over a month ago, I would have like 50 views, and I'm like, forget it, I'm not going to do Reels. But now, yesterday, the reel that I posted had over 5,000 views. I need to look at data. What is the data telling me about Instagram? All right, it's telling me I should keep going because that is a good model for growth for me, and it's very little time invested. So track your results. Number three, this is also a big one for me. You know, I talk about it a lot. Stay focused on one thing at a time. What are you going to do for the next 90 days? You can get really effective and very efficient when you know I'm really going to focus all of my time and energy onto one thing. The last 90 days for me has been about launching this course that's coming out this week. And all of my time and energy has been focused into that one thing, which means when I sit down, I know what I need to work on because I'm only doing this one big thing right now. Now, for the next 90 days after I launch this course, my time and energy is going to change a little bit. But I also know I can be effective and efficient because I'm only going to focus on that one next thing instead of lots and lots of different things. So ignore the rest of the things that are distraction, all those emails that are telling sign up for this, get this, do this webinar. You need to get focused on the one thing and then don't waver from it for those 90 days. 90 days is a great amount of time to build momentum, but not to get too bored with what you're working on. So see through that one thing that you've picked all the way to the end without getting distracted. I do see a question about data. I will come back to that in just a minute because that is a great question. So number four steps that you can take today, do the work that matters. So we get easily distracted when we are starting out in business. And one of the things I see all of the time is that people want to create their logo. And it is fun. And honestly, that's where I started. What's my logo? What's my business name going to be? But that is not the right work when you are just starting out. It's a distraction. When you are just starting out, you need to do the deep work of what kind of business owner you're going to be, what you're going to offer, who you're going to offer it to, what services you're going to provide, and dreaming big for your business. This is the work that matters. Your logo does matter, but you need to do things in the right order so that you can continue to be effective and efficient. You can get stuck in, I need a logo for a very long time, and then you're not being very efficient or effective because you're just spinning your wheels trying to figure out your logo, but you don't even know who you're going to serve or what services you're going to provide. So you can't create a logo. So do the work that actually matters. Number five, action step. Be strategic. Pinpoint your next move. This is kind of like the 90 days, and then stick to it. And then don't be afraid to just take that next step. If you've pinpointed that you need to work on this deep inner work of what kind of business owner you're going to be, what kind of business you're going to offer, then do that. Too many business owners get stuck in the step that they're in because they don't want to get into the next step. They stay stuck in the info stage or in the I'm just building my business stage, but you've got to be willing to take the next step. You've got to stop guessing. And when you are when you're following so many voices, I talked about this last week of unfollowing some people and unsubscribing from email lists. When you're doing all of that, you can't pinpoint what you need to be doing. You're just listening to all of these things that other people say you're doing. So you need to get very focused on what your next step is, not what everybody else is telling you that your next step is. Guessing wastes time. It leaves you feeling worried and not confident, and it actually wastes your time. You spend money on courses and like these $37 quick fixes that don't actually help you pinpoint the one thing that you need to be doing that drives your next 90 days. So let me go back and answer really quickly, what should you be tracking? At the very beginning of your business, you should be tracking how many followers you have on Instagram. So just talking about Instagram, you should be using the insights. So you should be tracking how many followers you have, how many posts you're doing each week, which posts are getting the most interactions, so that you can use that content again. Obviously, people like that content. I think a lot of people think, oh, that content did really well, I don't want to keep posting it again. No, that's the content that people are interacting with, so we want to post that again. What's not going well? Where am I getting my followers from? Am I getting the right kind of followers? You can track all of that very easily in Insights. It took me a little while to get started with that, but now I can do it in about 5 minutes on Fridays. And I have a spreadsheet that I use to track those numbers. On Facebook, I track how many people are coming into my group. Am I interacting with them? I also track my email list, how many people are on my email list, if I know where they're coming from, if people are getting my lead magnet. I'm tracking revenue, how much revenue is coming in. So I have a spreadsheet that I use to track those numbers. And I know for a very long time, I avoided tracking because my numbers were so low, because it was so slow. But here's what I will encourage you with, that even when you're just starting out, start tracking your numbers, because you can learn so much from them. And even if you're putting zeros or low numbers into your chart, you are establishing the habit of, I track my numbers. I do it at a certain time each week. Mine I do on Friday afternoons. It just kind of helps me close out the week. I track my numbers. Yes, I did really well. Hey, I had a lot of growth on Instagram because I posted reels and stories. I need to keep doing that. It encourages me for the work for the next week. So I would really, really encourage you to start tracking those numbers. That is something that we're going to talk about, and I have my spreadsheet that I will give you in my 90-day knockout program, which I'm going to talk to you about here in just a minute. So track your numbers. That's a really good actionable step to be both effective and efficient. So those were some action steps that you can take. Here are some just general reminders that you can keep top of mind. You can keep a sticky note next to your computer if you know that this is a problem or a struggle or a challenge for you. And these are ones that I've had to remind myself about on the regular. I'd love to say that I have overcome all of these things, but I haven't. So just be gracious with yourself. One of them, the first one, is don't compare to other people. I find it so easy to death scroll through Facebook and Instagram and Reels and see that everyone else has it figured out. And so I've really, really had to be careful that I don't compare myself, my progress, my starting line, to other people's finish line. So what I do instead is I consult. Instead of comparing, they're way ahead of me, I'm way behind, I feel badly about myself, I consult what they're doing. Hey, they are way ahead of me. What are they doing that I want to implement so that I can get to the same point that they are? So I consult, not compare. Number two, whatever you're worried about doing, whether it's getting on a Facebook Live, doing stories, doing reels, putting your offer out there, launching your program, do it scared. If you are scared, that's not going to get any better tomorrow. It's probably actually going to get worse. Our brain is going to tell us all these lies of you can't actually do it, and we just need to do it scared. And remember that slow and steady progress is actually good progress. And I'm going to talk about that in my 90-day launch too, why in my 90-day knockout program, why slow and steady growth is actually really, really good for both you, your business, and your customers and clients. Number three, to keep on top of mind to help you be effective and efficient, is to redefine failure and success. Redefining your measures of failure and success will help you be able to look accurately at your progress and be able to celebrate that and to be able to keep going. And I have a great video all about redefining failure and success. You can know how you are winning when you're winning, so you can help keep that focus when you're focused on one thing for 90 days, you're tracking it, and you're redefining your definition of success and failure. It can help you combat that discouragement that you might feel about just wanting to give up. The fourth reminder to keep you top of mind is to celebrate your progress. This is a big one for me. We're celebrating our progress. I talk about it a lot. We go for ice cream a lot. We just went for ice cream the other day. My kids had scored goals in soccer, and so we celebrate with ice cream. That's a big deal for us. You might go get, sometimes I spoil myself with a manicure or pedicure, going out to dinner, however you want to celebrate that, posting it on social media, posting it in my group, but celebrate that progress. It tells our brain, hey, this work that I'm doing is good and it's fun, and I get a little reward at the end. And then my other reminder to keep at the top of mind for you to be both effective and efficient and be working like a boss in your business is to take a break when you need to. There are times where we are pushing ourselves so hard, we are missing out on time with our family and friends or time for rest. And there are times where you just need to take a break. I am really, really putting some hard boundaries around doing work on the weekends because I want to actually be fully present for those times with my family and also just for myself. So take a break when you need it, whether it's a regular break that you're taking every week or it's an extended break that you need because you've worked on your business for a hard, tough season and you just need to step back a little bit. And it doesn't mean that you have to stop everything entirely, but you can just take your foot off the gas pedal. For example, I've been doing Facebook Lives. I love doing these. This is one of my favorite things to do. I'm a teacher, so I love to teach. But I'm going to be starting my course next week, and so I'm going to take my foot off the gas pedal a little bit on doing Facebook Lives because I want to serve the people that are in my brand new course really, really well. So you can take some breaks when you need to. So here are some action steps you can take today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till the next Monday. Start them today. Number one is to go back and evaluate where you are with efficiency and effectiveness and be grounded in the reality of which one you are really good at and which one you need to kind of work on a little bit more. And I will post this video right after we're done today so you can go back and listen to those questions if you need them again. And then number two, pick one or two steps to work on right now that I gave you, either those action steps or those 5 top of mind items to be thinking about. Don't stop until you've mastered those things that you have on your list. Be relentless. If you want to track your numbers and learn how to use that, then be relentless. Every week I'm going to track my numbers whether I want to or not, whether that's Friday afternoon to close out your week or Monday morning to get started on your week. Do those steps until you have them as a regular rhythm in your business. And then if you haven't checked out the other 2 parts of this series, I would check out the other 2 videos of thinking like a boss and growing like a boss, and then get started on the action steps I have there. Okay, so now I'm super excited to tell you about 2 quick things that are coming up this week that can also be really great action steps for you to be working like a boss. One is I have a master class coming up on Wednesday night at 5 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and it is all about kickstarting your faith-led online coaching business. And I'm super excited. This is content I have not shared anywhere else. It's a free masterclass, a free live masterclass, and I will drop the link below so that you can sign up for that. It'll just be about an hour. If you know, coming to my Facebook Lives, I don't do fluff. I don't do like all this, stuff that wastes your time. You can just come to the master class and hear the information and get that information, and that information, like I said, will not be shared anywhere else. The other thing that I want to tell you about is my 90-day knockout program that is coming this week. The cart is open right now, and it will be open until Thursday at midnight, and then the price is going to go up. This is the only time that I'm going to be offering this course for the price that it is right now. I'm hoping to double it or even more the next time I offer it, but this beta launch I am doing right now, it's going to be a small group of people that helps you get over this beginning phase of your business and learn what you need to learn without having to piece it together with freebies and trying to figure it out on your own. And so this 90-day knockout is what it says. We're going to start August 1st and go for 90 days. We're going to hit it really hard. There's 13 weeks in there from August 1st until Halloween. So I will have 13 trainings each week that will be very in-depth on funnels, on email, setting up your email system, on how to get your business started with my high five method, which is knowing your niche, what problem you solve, your mission, vision, and values, as well as your method that you're going to use to help solve that problem, and the systems that you need. I use the high five method, so that's why how I remember them is but with that hand signal. I'm a teacher, I can't get away from those kinds of things. And the systems that you need, these types of things that we've been talking about in here, doing a 90-day sprint. How do I track my numbers? How do I have an effective rhythm in my business so that I can keep doing this work over the long haul? And so I would invite you to check out my 90-day knockout program if you are just beginning your business and you want to get past this really challenging phase of, I have so much to learn, I have so much to do, I don't know how to do it, and I just want to start making money. The whole course is designed to help you take your idea and turn it into income, and you will be really well set up for success in the next 90 days with this 90-day knockout program. So I'll drop the link below. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to answer them for you. If you're wondering, is she going to cover this in that program? Just drop a question below. I'd love to be able to answer that for you. And if you have a question and I'm not covering it, maybe I'll add it in because I will be teaching this round of the course live each week instead of it just being recorded. Oh, and the best part is, even though I'm teaching the class live, you will have lifetime access to those videos. So if you miss a week or you're like, I just need to go back and rewatch that video, you will have lifetime access to it so that you can go back and remind yourself of what that material was. So thank you so much for joining me today and sticking with me through this topic of working like a boss, being effective and efficient in your business. I hope it was helpful and I hope that you have a really great week. Thanks, guys.